My manager was an awful person to me, but I got her fired in an embarrassing fashion. Have you ever had a boss who made your life miserable? I did, but I got sweet revenge in the end. Let me tell you how I took down the manager from hell. Fresh out of high school, I landed a job at Pet World to support myself through college. I worked in the aquatics and reptile department, which suited me perfectly since I'd been keeping snakes for years. The store manager, Bill, was a great guy. He expected everyone to work hard, but he was fair. My direct supervisor, Mandy, was a different story. From day one, she had it out for me. Mandy couldn't stand that I knew more about reptiles than she did. Her fragile ego couldn't handle a newbie who didn't need her constant guidance. She started giving me all the worst jobs, like cleaning the goldfish tanks every single day. She'd make snide comments like, "You're the weak link on my team. You're the reason we're having problems in this department." After about a year, my hours got cut by 25%. Bill told me it was because our department was losing money on sales and broken merchandise. Something didn't add up, but I figured everyone's hours were getting slashed. Then I started noticing Mandy's weird behavior with certain customers. She'd insist on helping them personally, sending the rest of us off on busy work. One day, a regular spilled the beans. Mandy was breeding animals at home, mice, dogs, turtles, and selling them to Pet World customers on the side. This was a major violation of company policy. Pet World didn't sell live feeder mice, and we had strict rules against promoting backyard breeding. Plus, Mandy was stealing potential sales from the store while our hours were getting cut. Talk about a conflict of interest. I decided to investigate further. One evening, I watched Mandy escort one of her customers around the store. She helped them load up on expensive aquarium decorations and terrarium supplies. I carefully noted every item they picked up. When Mandy personally rang up the customer, something she never did otherwise, I jotted down the time. Later, I asked the other cashiers if they'd noticed anything odd about Mandy's register behavior. They confirmed my suspicions. She only rang up certain customers and acted shifty when others tried to help. I gathered evidence from my coworkers about Mandy's under-the-table animal sales and suspicious behavior. Then I went to Bill with a list of item codes and the timestamp of the suspicious transaction. "I think if you look up this transaction from last night," I told him, "you'll find a massive discount applied. These are the items I saw them pick up." Bill thanked me and promised to investigate. A couple of weeks later, I was working when I noticed Bill hovering near the entrance. As soon as Mandy walked in, he called her into his office. A regional manager from corporate was waiting inside. They'd been watching Mandy closely since my tip-off. Turns out she'd been running a pretty slick scam. She'd take her customers shopping, then only scan every other item at checkout. The expensive stuff went straight into the cart without being rung up. She'd also been writing off a suspicious amount of broken merchandise. In just a few weeks, they caught Mandy giving away over $1,500 in merchandise. When they dug deeper into the broken item logs, they found she'd written off way more than usual, about 10 times more than the previous quarter. The final tally? Mandy had defrauded Pet World of over $3,500 in merchandise. Bill had already arranged for the police to meet them after the firing. I'll never forget watching Mandy being escorted out by the cops with the entire staff staring in disbelief. As she passed by, our eyes met. I couldn't resist giving her a quick wink. I don't know if Mandy went to jail, but I do know one thing. Karma's a butch, and sometimes it wears a name tag.